Welcome everyone to Master of Surveillant Mindset here on Northwest Digital News, and we have Darin Fredrickson on the screen here left, Kevin Hunter here in the center, and Kyle Torgerson making all the tech happen here on the broadcast. Well, Darin is coming from a undisclosed location. What do you want to tell people about what you're doing today? And of course, not blowing your cover and what you're specifically doing.
Sure. So I'm a part of a team of 3 right now. We're actually working a theft group that's primarily targeting people and locations around malls and shopping centers. So during the holiday season, their activity increases quite a bit. Right before Christmas is when everybody's looking to buy online, make that good deal. And so the activity, retail theft activity, goes up significantly. So we're in parking lots and all that watching for our group, actually.
Organized retail crime groups is what you're talking about, correct?
Exactly, yes. While we're doing that, we're also watching for the safety of customers that are coming to these different retailers that are shopping.
Hey, let's visit about that real quickly then. That's a good segue into parking lot safety, people coming to and from their stores. There are some really typical things that you see, mistakes that you see people making that significantly increases their odds of becoming a victim of either being hit here in a parking lot or potentially even at their homes, as we discussed in past shows. So some advice for people who are out shopping and in public parking lots.
So first of all, like we had talked about when we were talking about purse snatchers taking purses, people that target vehicles for theft are looking for contents inside the vehicle. So if you're out shopping and you leave your purse or anything visible in the car, if they see something visible, they're going to break that window and go in there and get it. So if it's hidden, obviously they don't know what's in the car. So same thing, other than like purses, wallets, things that you would leave, you know, just valuables in plain sight in your car. Same thing during the holiday season. When you're shopping, there's actually more thieves in the parking lots looking, not necessarily for purses, they're looking for packages. So as we talked about purse snatching, there's actually individuals that'll just go up and take packages from you, and they'll walk the lots. And I don't want to get into the details, but 2 weeks ago I was actually on a surveillance in a parking lot, and we had an individual going through the parking lot, looking in vehicles, and one of the surveillance had left the parking lot, and he probably shouldn't have, but anyways, in that 5-minute time period, a vehicle was broken into that was parked right near where we were parked, and a bag was stolen with a lot of valuables in it. So you don't want to, first of all, leave anything in plain sight, because they're just going to walk parking lots and look for packages. The other thing they're going to do is look for people coming out of shopping centers with valuable, with bags, right? The bags all advertise the retailer. So if you have a bag from Victoria's Secret, Michael Kors, some of these expensive stores, and you go out and put it, they're either going to grab it or they're going to see, oh, you put it in your vehicle, so you can go back in and do some more shopping. And if they don't see you put it in your trunk, and trunks aren't ultimately safe because a lot of cars you can break in and open the trunk through a release, but if you put it in the trunk, you're a lot safer. It's out of sight. But if you put it in the front compartment or anywhere visible in your vehicle, and then they see it, they're going to break in and grab it. So what I suggest, first of all, put it in the trunk if you have that option. If you put it in the vehicle, cover it up with something. And then also when you're coming out to your vehicle, first of all, if it's dark, or you know you're going to come out when it's dark, park in a lit area. And when you come out, have your keys ready. Be looking around for people that might just be lurking around. Look for cars that are occupied with people sitting in them. Because a lot of times they're going to have a driver, and there's going to be somebody that's going to break into a car and steal it or grab your packages, jump in the car and leave. And a lot of times they pull their license plate. So if you see a car parked near you, there's no license plate, or they're backed in, that should be a huge clue. Don't be monkeying on your phone. That's so many shoppers come out and they haven't been catching up on all their social media and their text messages because they've been shopping, and they come out and the first thing they do is start looking at their phone, walk into their car. Next thing you know, all of a sudden it happened, but it wasn't all of a sudden. It was there. They just missed it. So look around. We always come back to situational awareness, so use that.
You mentioned that people quite often will use that phrase, you know, all of a sudden, you know, such and such happened, and they're simply not paying attention to the surroundings, and that's why the all of a sudden happens.
It was all of a sudden to you, but it was there. there were crime signals there. You missed them.
Well, I know you have a crew showing up on scene there shortly, and you're going to have to run in a bit, and I want to make sure that we don't miss this conversation with people. The retail markets are shifting more and more to online retail markets, and so people are ordering stuff, have it being shipped to their home. Criminals are pretty savvy to this kind of stuff, and well, you call them porch pirates. Some advice for people who are having packages shipped to home, and of course these crooks following UPS trucks or FedEx trucks or whatever, and just watching for them to drop off valuables.
Yeah, and here's the challenge too. And we followed these groups around, and they follow trucks. The suspects will literally follow a delivery truck through neighborhoods, and they drop packages. Is depending on the contents of the package, it usually is only a misdemeanor crime unless it's over whatever threshold in the jurisdiction you're in. But what you want to do, first of all, package ordering online already account for 9% of retail sales this year through September, and about 30% of people have experienced a theft of a package when they've ordered something. So what you want to do, first of all, is if you have an option of an Amazon drop box, if you're using Amazon, there's drop boxes usually in your area where you can have them dropped off and secured. The other thing you could do, and I have one of these, is get a Ring Cam or a Nest Cam set for motion for your front entrance. So then you're expecting a package, you get a motion, oh, there's my package just got dropped off, and I would recommend having somebody pick it up. But if not, at least you'll get a motion if somebody comes to steal your package. And there's a lot of clips out there where you can see people stealing packages off the front porches. So the other thing is if there's the Nextdoor app that some people use in neighborhoods so they can all communicate on activity going on. If you have a neighbor you know is always home, just let your neighbor know, hey, I have a package coming. It just showed up. Can you please pick it up? That's a good way to avoid it. There's also an option of a lockbox at your own home in the front porch area, and a lot of people leave notes. The problem is you're relying on a delivery person to read a note or put it in a lockbox, and a lot of times that doesn't happen. They just drop it and they just go on to the next house. So those are just some things, because the theft rate is every year it's going up, and as more people order online, it's real simple to follow around these trucks and just pick up packages all day long. The good thing is, usually with an online marketplace, if you are a victim of a theft, usually you can call back and they'll replace the items because they know it's the cost of doing business. But it's still the hassle of calling customer service and going through that whole process of filing a claim and getting those items resent. So especially this time of the year, that's when those porch pirates are out there working overtime, trying to get all the packages that either you're getting for yourself or you're getting as gifts for others. Nothing's worse than missing Christmas morning and your item was stolen. You have to wait for after the holidays to get your package.
Any other gold nuggets you want to leave for people who are out there shopping, just general shopping safety tips?
Don't travel with a lot of cash. Don't travel with your purse if you're going shopping and you don't need to. Have your purse with you. Just put your credit card, your debit card, and carry it in your pocket. That's the number one thing I can tell you, is just don't use a lot of cash, or don't carry a lot of cash with you. And then again, we'll go back to situation awareness. Watch what's going on around you. When you're in the shopping center, make sure you keep that little buffer around you, because there are actually professional pickpockets that will, and they're very good at it, they'll grab your wallet out of your purse, or they'll actually grab your wallet out of your pocket. And those are just general safety tips. But most of your pickpockets and those thieves that target individuals will target them in a retail setting, because that's where they have a mass of targets that are there to spend money, and so that's the most lucrative market for them.
You know, I got a little piece of feedback from a viewer of one of our previous shows, and we were talking about the elderly ladies that this guy was actually following home and mugging them, stealing their stuff from them when they arrived home. I was actually having a conversation with somebody about that recently, and one of the ladies shares with me, she goes, you know, because of that situation right there, that's the reason why, and she mentioned 2-3 other friends of hers that are elderly like herself, but she goes, when we go shopping, we always go together, and that's the reason why we do it. So just another little tip, you know, for people who are, obviously this lady's very savvy and paying attention to what's going on, and she's going, I'll be less of a victim by bringing my friends. And no doubt about that, that can have some impact. Well, Darin, thanks for joining us remotely. This was on short notice today because you had to zip out of town and busy working, doing your job as a master surveillant. But thanks for all the wisdom and the helpful tips that you shared with people on protecting their packages on their porch and staying safe while shopping. Special thanks to everybody who joined us here on Twitch TV, on Patreon, YouTube, and of course our Facebook pages. On behalf of Darin Fredrickson there seated left, Kevin Hunter, and Kyle Torgerson here on Northwest Digital News. Thanks to everybody who joined us. Till next time, take care.